Okay, hi there, Margaret Lloyd here. Eternal shift, new life, new day. Saturday, January the 4th. Wow, where has time gone? Okay, so today we're going to talk about narcissists, how to set boundaries with a narcissist to protect yourself. Narcissism is a personality trait that conjures up images of self-centered, arrogant, manipulative, and abusive behavior. Yet for those in relationships with narcissists, there's a challenging reality that requires emotional mastery and resilience. Absolutely. One of the most difficult yet most important requirements is to set strong boundaries to protect you from harm, protect your peace, and protect your sanity. Absolutely. Clearly define your boundaries, communicate them assertively to the narcissist, and constantly enforce them. Prioritize your emotional well-being, expect resistance, remain firm, and seek outside support if needed. The goal is self-protection, not changing the narcissist. Key takeaways. 1. Narcissists lack empathy, have an excessive need for admiration, and frequently violate others' boundaries. 2. Setting and enforcing firm boundaries is crucial for protecting your emotional well-being around a narcissist. Identify your boundaries, communicate them assertively, be consistent, prioritize self-care. 4. Expect resistance and manipulation from the narcissist, but remain steadfast in upholding your boundaries. Five, seek professional help or seek networks if needed. Setting effective boundaries. So how to set boundaries with the narcissist? The solution begins with understanding the narcissist narcotics that fuel a narcissist. Excessive validation, control, emotional manipulation. Resilience against these tactics involves being both assertive and consistent while also cultivating an empathetic understanding of the narcissist's perspectives. When you start giving them excessive validation, he or she will get any and may even block you. And then you'll wonder, why does a narcissist block you? Because they can. The necessity of setting boundaries with a narcissist. The necessity of setting boundaries with a narcissist cannot be overstated. Narcissists frequently tread over the emotional territories of others without any regard for their feelings or needs. For those in the narcissist's orbit, this behavior can rapidly erode self-esteem, emotional health, and overall quality of life. To curtail this, healthy boundaries should be set unequivocally and stood upon firmly. This is not a defense mechanism. It's an affirmation of self-worth. Core strategies for building boundaries. If you're wondering why don't my boundaries work? It is because you might be lacking core strategies that are required for this task. Building boundaries with a narcissist involves core strategies that empower, liberate, and affirm personal space and respect. These strategies include understanding the nature of narcissism, fortifying emotional resilience, effectively communicating one's needs, and being assertive and consistent in holding these boundaries. It's getting cold in here. I'm going to have to turn my heater on. Got a cold front coming in. And these gray skies just make me tired. Stepping into the narcissist's world doesn't mean losing one's sense of self. It means becoming a beacon of self-respect, assertiveness, and emotional strength. Remember, detangling from a narcissist's grip is rarely a smooth process. It demands courage, absolutely. Self-love, absolutely. If you don't love yourself, they're not going to love you. And above all, a resolve to prioritize one's emotional health and well-being, because that's what's most important. You can take a look at our boundaries article where you can surely learn something new on this topic, and we'll look at that tomorrow. Identifying. There's my Snickers. There's my girl. There's my girl. Yes. Were you outside? Is it cold outside? Yeah. It's chilly out there. You been a good girl? Are you good outside? Do you deserve a treat? I bet you do. I bet I got one right here for you. Now lay down. Lay down. Good girl. Defining narcissistic traits. An excessive need for admiration is a common trait among those with narcissistic personality disorder. Along with that, you may find a narcissist insult you in various occasions for no reason. A narcissistic spouse, or family member often pursues validation with a fervor that surpasses the norm, continuously seeking compliments, acknowledgement, or any form of reassurance that reinforces their inflated self-image. Their need for admiration might often lead them to center conversations around themselves, share excessively about their own life, while remaining disinterested in others' experiences and trample on others' boundaries. Excuse me. To remain in the spotlight of attention. Another defining trait of a narcissist is profound disregard for other feelings. And I will have to say, I have had that tendency, but I'm losing it. I think, living with a narcissist for 40 years, you learn some of their bad habits, as I have. Think of it as a blind spot, except the narcissist may be fully aware of it, but still choose to ignore it. Being self-absorbed, narcissists typically neglect to consider the feelings, wants, needs, or rights of others. I am so sorry. I don't know why. I get to talking, and I guess I lose oxygen. I need to get on the oxygen. Even when confronted with their lack of empathy, a narcissist will likely dismiss these accusations and may even lash out in anger. A key aspect of narcissist interaction strategies includes dealing with their inability to handle criticism. Oh God, yeah, he couldn't handle criticism if his life depended on it. Narcissists often perceive it as a direct assault on their self-image, resulting in reactions such as aggression, withdrawal, or attempts to belittle the criticizer. Linking narcissism and manipulation. Narcissists are master manipulators, and their antics often serve to preserve their fragile self-esteem while affirming their dominance. Understanding this link is crucial for handling a narcissistic behavior. First, gaslighting is a common manipulation technique employed by narcissists. Gaslighting involves denying facts, dismissing others' thoughts or feelings, and manipulating them into questioning their own reality. In essence, it's a mental game narcissists play to gain control and all the power over their victims. Next, narcissists often use emotional leverage to manipulate others. By exploiting known emotional vulnerabilities, they ensure obedience and reaffirm their control. They may shower their victims with affection and attention, known as love bombing. Oh, he would love bomb me. I didn't try, but why did I trust it? Followed by abrupt episodes of criticism, neglect, creating a push-pull dynamic. You can look at these signs. A narcissist wants your attention for better understanding. Oh, no, he doesn't. A narcissist toolkit also includes denial of facts. When faced with blame, narcissists tend to recreate the narrative, declare you're misremembering things, and flat out deny your wrongdoings. This tactic is especially damaging as it promotes self-doubt and confusion in their victims. I doubted myself for so many years. If you want the exact differences between a narcissist and a manipulator, you should definitely read an article on Judge Anthony about narcissists. And we'll look at that tomorrow. The impact of narcissism on relationships. Sustained interactions are often the hallmark of narcissistic relationships. Controlling conversations, absolutely. Hostility, drama, and constant competition can breed tension, leading to constant clashes and confrontations. Managing narcissistic abuse in relationships requires resilience, as the emotional drain can be immense. Those dealings with a narcissistic parent or a narcissistic partner often find themselves in a constant state of stress. Oh, absolutely. Anxiety and worry. My husband was a narcissist, and I was constantly anxious, worried, stressed out. Relationships with narcissists can also spur feelings of worthlessness, helplessness, and despair. So how does one go about establishing limits with a narcissist? The answer lies in understanding narcissistic behaviors, developing a strong sense of self, enhancing communication skills, and practicing self-care strategies. Strategies we'll discuss in the next segment. Okay, I got a jacket and I'm going to feel a little bit warmer. All right, so come on, where'd you go? Okay. Defending oneself from a narcissist is not about antagonizing them. It's about respecting and taking care of oneself. Conceptualizing personal boundaries. Importance of personal boundaries. We must all have our boundaries. We need to put them up. We need to stick to them. I think that's a lot of women's problems. We tend to set boundaries, but we set them with wiggle room. We need to not do that. My boundaries now have this much wiggle room. My boundaries before had a big wiggle room. I'm not allowing that anymore. I can't afford to allow wiggle room. So if I set a boundary, I set a boundary. That's what it is. But why are personal boundaries so important, especially when interacting with a narcissist? Because a narcissist will walk right through it. They'll stomp on it. They'll mash it. It won't make any difference to them. Maintaining self-respect is perhaps the most prominent reason for this. You have to set boundaries to keep your self-respect. You have to. You have to do it for yourself, for your love. Narcissists, get a drink of water. Narcissists frequently attempt to corrode others' boundaries. Just like batteries, acid will corrode things. That's what a narcissist tries to do. Corrode your boundaries to retain their perceived superiority and control. As such, Standing firm on your boundaries becomes an essential tool in preserving your self-respect and worth in the face of a narcissistic treatment. Building personal boundaries also critically ensures emotional health, and we must have our emotional health. Narcissistic behaviors, manipulation, gaslighting, exploiting emotional vulnerabilities can wreak havoc on your emotional well-being, and not only at the time that the narcissist is trampling through your boundaries, but it will stay with you forever. As long as you are around that narcissist, you will have that feeling. You will have an emotional unwell being. By firmly establishing limits with the narcissist and maintaining them, you protect your emotional environment, preventing the narcissist from draining your emotional and mental health. See, that's what I did. I did not I had set boundaries, but he trampled over them. I didn't reinforce them, build up the boundaries. And he just trampled over me for 40 years. You know, I'm out of it, thank God. And my mental health is much better. Furthermore, personal boundaries preserve personal freedom. I had no freedom. When I was with him, I had no freedom. I didn't have freedom to do anything by myself. I didn't have freedom to think for myself. Narcissist boundary setting safeguards your individuality. I had no individuality when I was with him. I didn't know who I was anymore. I didn't have freedom. And the right to make decisions without coercion or guilt. I never had that. And it's difficult for me to make decisions right now. It's very difficult. I have a difficult time doing that. It's not the easiest thing in the world for me to do. This is particularly significant when dealing with narcissists who try to control and dictate the lives of those around them. And that's what mine did. He dictated my life. Determining your boundaries. Defining your boundaries is the first step in effective narcissistic boundary settings. So my first boundary that I have set is, don't push me. I'm not looking for a boyfriend. Don't push it. Looking for friends? Absolutely. But a male boyfriend to have a possible romantic relationship with, not interested. I went through 30 years of hell. It's not going to take me 30 years to get out of it, but it's going to take me time to get it together. And so I am not interested. Respect, trust, fidelity. Acknowledge your limits is important too. Reflect upon your past interactions with a narcissist to identify what behaviors you can no longer tolerate. So, I can no longer tolerate being disloyal, being manipulative, trying to make me do something you want. If I don't want to do it, I ain't going to do it. I'm just not putting up with it. I'm not dealing with that crap any longer. There'll be no name calling, no manipulation, no criticism. Don't criticize people. Why? I know. I have a tendency, but I'm breaking out of that tendency. I will put my boundaries out there. I will let everybody know what my boundaries are. I know what I'm going to do. I may make up a t-shirt. These are my boundaries. And wear it, like it or lump it. That's a good idea. I won't. But it's a good idea. Or get boundaries tattooed on my forehead. I will find ways to share my boundaries that protects me, my emotional well-being, my emotional environment. Because I have to protect myself from damaging influences. And if you ask me, narcissists are damaging influences. So we have to remember that with narcissists, you don't just tell them once. You have to tell them multiple times to stop, to not do that, to behave themselves, whatever. But you do. You have to keep letting them know what your boundaries are. Keep them going. Keep them coming. You gotta, because we have to clearly communicate to narcissists for them to respect your boundaries. You have to have a solid belief system in yourself. Believe in yourself, please. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody's going to believe in you. I believe in you. I believe in all of you. And we have to manage. Another crucial element in effective boundary implementation is managing the narcissist's behavior reactions. Managing how they react, and understanding how their reactions impact you. So that's what we need to do. That's what we're going to work on in this 24 hours, is how to keep a narcissist at bay. We can do this. We're smart women. We're smart people. And we can do this. So let's get it done. Let's keep these narcissists at bay. Keep them out of our lives. We don't need them. We don't. We don't need them. And they really don't need us. So peace, love. See you tomorrow. Take care. Love you. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Come on. Mama needs a new pair of shoes. Love you all. Bye.